Our country has been facing different kinds or types of issues. As a student, I want to know your action regarding this one. Claire, a 15-year-old student, got pregnant. What do you think will be the possible problems or issues that Claire will be facing in this kind of situation? Some of your answers may be classified or categorized as social, moral, and economic issues. These will be our goals for today's lesson. First, define social, moral, and economic issues. Next, identify examples of social, moral, and economic issues. And determine various social, moral, and economic issues discussed in the text. Let us define first these important terms, the social, moral, and economic, before identifying the examples in each category. Let us have first the social issue or problem. Social issue is an issue that has been recognized by society as a problem that is preventing society from functioning at an optimal level. Examples of these include poverty. It is a state or condition in which a person or community lacks the financial resources and essentials for a minimum standard of living. And if poverty exists, these problems also exist. Low income, no proper housing, no proper medical services, no proper education, insufficient clean water or healthy foods, no or few job opportunities. Next is environmental concerns due to human activities, which include global warming, waste disposal, ozone layer depletion, water pollution, air pollution, and climate change. Next is healthcare. It is the set of services provided by a country or an organization for the treatment of the physically and mentally ill. The World Health Organization refers to the Filipino healthcare system as fragmented. There is a history of unfair and unequal access to health services that significantly affects the poor. The government spends little money on the program, which causes high out-of-pocket spending and further widens the gap between the rich and the poor. The next one is teenage pregnancy. It is a pregnancy in a woman 19 years of age or younger. Philippines has one of the highest adolescent birth rates among the ASEAN member states based on the recent World Bank data, with 47 births annually per 1,000 women aged 15 to 19. Other examples include war on drugs, overpopulation, civil rights, racial discrimination, and gender inequality. Let's proceed with moral issues or problems. Moral is concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior and the goodness or badness of human character. Morals are formed out of a person's values, and values are the foundation of a person's ability to judge between right and wrong. The first example of moral issue is conformity. It is a behavior that follows the usual standards that are expected by a group or society. Or do we have the right or responsibility to coerce or force others to behave well? Other examples include killing, slavery, extramarital and premarital relationship, physical and mental abuses, corruption, prostitution, and many more. The last one is the economic issue or problem. Let's define economic. Economic is making a profit or likely to make a profit. Economic problem emerges because our desire for goods and services to consume is greater than our ability to produce those goods and services. Or in simple words, just like you wanted to buy something but you cannot afford, or the money you produce is not enough. There are three types of human wants. The first one is biological wants, which refers to the goods and services needed to sustain human life. These goods are often called necessities, such as food, shelter, and clothing. Second one is cultural wants, which refers to the goods and services beyond necessities in order to maintain the socially accepted standard of living. These goods and services are called conveniences. It can be your appliances, big houses, and other things that makes your life comfortable and convenient. The third one is demonstration wants. These goods and services are called luxuries, just like your jewelries, gadgets, and fancy clothes. Let's go back to our situation earlier, in which Claire, a 15-year-old student, got pregnant. Claire's problems here involve social, moral, and economic issues. In terms of social issue, being a pregnant at a young age is considered as a problem by the society. While for moral issue, Claire had engaged in premarital sex, which is considered as a negative behavior that violates the moral standard of the society. And for economic issue, since Claire is classified as a 15-year-old student, her baby's basic needs and wants will be difficult to sustain unless she will be supported by her boyfriend's family and her own family, of course. Let's do this activity. What you are going to do is read the two reading selections from Afro-Asian literature. The reading texts may communicate significant wisdoms to you which you may or may not encounter before. As each story unfolds, hoping that you will be able to determine the social, moral, and economic issues reflected on the stories. The first reading text is a Korean literature titled The Tale of the Woodcutter and the Tiger. I will give you time to read the story. Okay, so now let's test your comprehension. The next story is a Japanese literature titled The Story of the Aged Mother by Matsuo Basho. Again, I will give you time to read the story. Let's do this last activity. So let's test your understanding of the story of the aged mother. What you're going to do is fill out the missing letter to complete the words being asked. Look at the example.